Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a blast exploring the fabulous new release by Simon System. Well, last night I shared a video featuring a few goodies that were sent to me from the latest Moments in Time collection. In that video, I showcased two cards that I created using the beautiful vintage bloom stamp set. Today, I'm back with a very clean and simple card design featuring one of my favorite stamps from this release. I will be creating a sweet little thank you note with minimal coloring and a touch of faux splatter for extra charm. Before we get started, I would really appreciate if you could take a moment to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. For today's card, I'm featuring the Thank You Teacher stamp set from the new release. This set includes an adorable group of three little children, one holding a sweet flower, another one with a backpack, and the third one carrying a little apple. It also includes a charming teacher image and a lovely school building scene. This set comes with a variety of sentiments that can be mixed and matched to create your own personalized message, making it perfect for thoughtful and unique cards. I decided to keep today's card very clean and simple. I'll be stamping the teacher along with the student holding the flower. Such a sweet little scene. It instantly brings back memories from my own school days. I remember having so much fun with my friends and my teachers. I wish I could go back to those old school days. Well, moving on. To get started, I'm using my Ultranew stamp wheel. I placed an A2 sized white cardstock panel onto the ultra sticky mat and then bought in my grid transparency sheet. This helps me align perfectly both the focal point image and the bold thank you sentiment from the set. I used Memento black ink for stamping since I will be coloring the images with alcohol markers. This ink is alcohol friendly, which is not the case with my VersaFine Onyx black ink. I use my sleeve to apply a gentle pressure over the stamped image, and well, I like to stamp it twice to achieve a crisp, dark impression. Now, if you're using pigment ink like the VersaFine Onyx black ink, I recommend either heat setting it or letting it completely dry before coloring with alcohol markers. This will help prevent any smudging or bleeding of the black ink during coloring. When it comes to coloring stamped images, especially smaller ones like these, my go-to markers are the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. These are fine tip markers that make it easy to color in the tiny details with precision. I also enjoy using my Uhuhu alcohol markers, but the set that I have includes brush tips, which aren't ideal for small, intricate areas, so I tend to avoid them for images like these. For today's card, I kept the color palette soft and simple using light pastel tones. The student character looked like a little cat to me, so I went with a ginger cat look using soft orangey brown shades. The teacher reminded me of a sweet little bunny, so I used the lightest gray for her fur and paired it with a lovely coral pink dress. To add a pop of contrast, I colored the student's shirt in a bright blue shade and added a bold red tie, a pretty pink flower, and an orange backpack to complete the look. For the background of my card, I chose to keep things very minimal and left it completely white. I felt that a clean, crisp backdrop would really allow the colored images to stand out and draw the viewer's attention directly to the focal point. Sometimes less truly is more, especially when working with delicate pastel tones. That said, if you're looking to add a bit more depth or visual interest, you could absolutely bring in some soft ink blending. A touch of blue at the top could easily represent the sky, while gentle green near the bottom would give the effect of grass or natural setting. Either approach would work beautifully, just depends on the way you're going for. Once I finished coloring the main focal point, I brought it back to my stamp wheel to add a little sub sentiment. I chose the phrase for letting me shine, which, when paired with the bold thank you sentiment that is already stamped on this panel, reads as thank you for letting me shine. I thought it was perfect message to complement the sweet heartfelt scene on the card, so fitting for a teacher themed design. Now, instead of stamping the sub sentiment in black like the rest of the elements, I wanted to give it a soft, colorful touch that would tie in nicely with the pastel tones that I used for my focal point images. I reached out for my positively saturated ink in the shade Cantaloupe, which is a lovely light orange shade, and then added an ombre effect by blending in a blush toned pinkish orange towards the bottom. I absolutely love how soft the transition between the two colors adds a gentle, playful pop to the sentiment, just enough to catch the eye without overpowering the rest of the design. Here's a quick tip when building up layers of ink to create a gradient or an ombre effect. Try using a small ink blending tool or a fine blending brush. Gently blending over the edges will help soften any harsh lines and make the color transition look beautifully smooth and seamless. Now that the card front is complete, let's add a little extra interest and texture to the panel without taking away from its clean and simple aesthetic. With such a soft and thoughtful design scene, I didn't want to risk disrupting the look by adding ink splatters, which, while beautiful, can sometimes be unpredictable and tricky to control, especially on a finished card. If you've ever felt hesitant about adding splatters for fear of making a mess, here's a little trick I love to use instead. I take a black gel pen and add tiny dots in varying sizes, scattered organically across the panel. This technique gives an illusion of splatter without the mess or the uncertainty. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. Just go with the flow. Let your hand move naturally and allow some of the dots to be slightly larger while others remain very fine and barely visible. It's that variation that helps it look more natural, almost like a genuine ink splatter were added. It's a subtle yet effective way to add a touch of visual texture while keeping your design beautifully controlled and cohesive. And just like that, our card front is all finished and ready to be adhered onto a card base. At first, I considered mounting it onto a classic white card base, but after a little back and forth, I felt it to be too plain. It didn't quite complement the soft pastel tones and delicate details of the design. So I tried a bright pink card base next, thinking it might add a fun pop of color. But that ended up feeling a bit too bold and overpowering for the subtle vibe that I was going for. Finally, I found the perfect match in my stash, a light coral pink card base that beautifully echoed the soft shades used in the stamped image. It added just the right touch of color without distracting the overall design. Once I adhered the panel onto the card base, I brought back my black gel pen and added a few more tiny splatter like dots for added texture. I also used my white gel pen to add a subtle highlight on the little critters, bringing them to life with just a few delicate strokes. I absolutely love how this card turned out. It's a very clean and simple design, but the soft pastel tones, thoughtful coloring, and the subtle details really bring it together. The Thank You Teacher stamp set is hands down my favorite from this new release. The sentiments are incredibly versatile and heartfelt, and they can easily be mixed and matched to create personalized messages for any occasion. If you're looking to add something special to your collection, I highly recommend checking out this absolutely gorgeous stamp set, as well as the other beautiful products from the latest Moments in Time release. There's so much creative potential in every product from this release. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching today's video as much as I did creating this card for you guys. All the supplies that I used to create this card will be found linked in the description box below, along with links to the products from the new release. Please note that all of these links are affiliate links, which means that if you shop using one of my links, I get a small commission at no cost to you guys. Thank you again for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe.